Our Scholars podcast explores K-State students' involvement in the global food system. It's produced by the Office of Research Development and Kansas State University. I'm Maureen Olevnik, coordinator of the Global Food Systems Initiative, along with Courtney Grice, communications assistant for that initiative. Today's discussion includes Yanting Tina Shen, who is a Ph.D. student of the Department of Grain Science and Industry at K-State, and she's working with Dr. Yonghui Li. Hello, Tina. Give us a little bit about your background, who you are, and what you got interested in doing the studies that you are in the Department of Grain Science here at K-State.
Yes, my name is Yanting Shen, and my English name is Tina. My background is I have been in Manhattan, Kansas already almost 10 years. I got my bachelor and master degree in food science. And after I graduated from my master degree, and I joined in the science department and working with Dr. Li, Yonghui Li, in the cereal chemistry lab. And now my dissertation thesis was about the functional improvement of plant proteins and modifications, and then used in the food applications. I really enjoyed in working with Dr. Li, and also I'm interested in my research project because, the protein deficiency is one of the major nutritional problems in the developing countries. And because of the high cost and large productions of animal proteins, as well as the nutritional concern, there is a strong interest for the consumption of sustainable source of plant proteins. So developing alternative, innovative plant protein could be a strategy to solve the problem of the protein shortage. So this is really interesting topic for me.
Very interesting. So the work that you're doing on functional proteins, have you stepped into the area of meat alternatives in the work you're doing now?
So right now we are doing part of first we are working on the list of the innovative proteins to be screened. For example, lentil protein, cowpea protein, chickpea, pigeon pea, mung bean, oat, hemp seed, canola, or the quinoa, pumpkin, like this, we already screened. But further, we also need to investigate the sunflower or some beans like kidney beans, black beans, board beans, or the sesame or peanut. We are looking for some functionalities, including the water holding capacity, that is to determine the function of water retention, swelling, solubility, and gelation properties. And it is important in the food formulation, which affects the dehydration with dry ingredients. And we also are looking for some oil holding capacities, and it will influence the food textures and qualities. And it has the ability to absorb and retain fat with the interaction of lipid in the food system. And some emulsification capacity and stability, as well as the solubility and protein gelation. These are the major protein functional properties we are looking for.
Very interesting. So the work you're doing is with materials well outside of just the cereal grains area. You've listed off several other edible components that don't necessarily fall in the cereals area, but fall within legumes and beans and those types of things. So you're looking at these functional properties, that you're also doing some work in the baking area. Is some of that work on those proteins specific to baking?
Yes, I'm working on the protein modifications as well. For example, the recent project I'm working on is pea protein. So we know that pea protein is one of the most widely consumed and cultivated legumes and attracting more attention. And pea also does not have significant allergenic effect or GMO issues, unlikely to the soy or wheat. So the utilizations of commercial pea protein as a food ingredient is limited, partially due to their some poor functionalities. So that's why we need to improve these functional properties, for example, solubility. So right now I'm using the chemical modifications to modify the protein and improve that solubility and gelation properties. And I found that the alkylated pea protein followed as the conjugated pea protein. So combine these two modifications, I saw the synergistic effect on improved gelation properties. So this kind of modified protein we can use in the baking area. For example, the gluten-free product.
Okay, and so with that particular application, you're looking at textural and water holding capabilities and those types of things?
Yes. And this kind of protein, modified protein, not only we use in the bakery industry, we can also use in the meat analogs, use as the meat extenders, or we can use that in the salad dressing, because we saw that it is very effective. They use in the oil in water emulsions model system.
Now, just touching briefly on the Global Food Systems Seed Grant that you're working with Dr. Yonghui Li on, this is an interdisciplinary activity. So what other groups on campus have you had the opportunity to work with in that particular project?
Yes, well, so right now the plant protein, the alternative plant protein is really popular. So our goal is also to use my modified protein to use in the meat analog. So maybe in the future, we will collaborate with the animal science department to make some plant-based sausages. And because we have our own baking lab, so we will also use our modified protein that I said before, use that in the gluten-free product.
I understand that in your time at K-State, working as a graduate student as well, that you've won a couple of awards. Can you give us a little bit of understanding of what those were? I see one was the Malcolm Bourne competition. What was that, and what took you to the winning place there?
Oh, that is the most recent award I have achieved this year. IFT is Institute of Food Technology. That is the biggest conference in the food science area every year. And I attended this. I was noticed that I entered the finalist for the poster competition earlier this year. So I joined the final competition in June, virtually. So I prepared a video and poster in there, and then followed their judges. They asked me several questions. I think totally is 8 questions they asked me, and I answered it, write down my answer and email back. And I was announced in the conference for the second place. I'm really happy to get this international award.
Yes, congratulations on that. That's, as you said, IFT it's a huge organization and a very important meeting.
What are your aspirations moving forward? We know that you're a doctoral candidate, but what do you see yourself really researching as you move forward?
So right now I'm preparing my preliminary test for my PhD, and hopefully I can be graduated next year. So after graduation, I probably will find a job that's related to the plant-based product or plant meat. Hopefully, my dream job is to working in the Beyond Meat company or Impossible Food, like that is highly related to my research area.
Well, that's wonderful.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us?
Recently, I did have publications for that is related to also the plant protein. That is, we investigate the effect of different drying methods, including the freeze drying, spray drying, and vacuum drying on the physical, chemical, and functional properties of the quinoa protein isolate. So why we choose quinoa protein, that is because we did some protein screening before. So I talked previously, for example, the quinoa protein or hemp seed protein. We found that the quinoa protein have really good functional properties compared with the other proteins. So that's why we use quinoa to further investigate that some functional properties in different drying area, and that it will be helpful. It will be the selecting the appropriate processing method will be benefit to the industry in optimize the protein production and functional property for target food applications. So this manuscript we just published in the Food Chemistry Journal.
Food chemistry, good.
My last question for you, Tina, is what keeps you coming back to K-State? As you mentioned earlier, you received your first 2 degrees from K-State, and with so many other options, just what is it about K-State that has kept you here?
At the very beginning, because my father is also in baking area, he worked in the LaSalle group in China. When I was young, my father always took me to the supermarket because he's a working purpose. So he always would like to see some competitive companies' product like bread or cake. So he always bring me to the supermarket. So that his experience influenced me to working in this kind of area. So I joined in K-State. I know K-State they have very good education in the food science. So I chose the food science for my beginning of the bachelor degrees. And then I found after I graduated for my bachelor, I found I really interested in the nutrition because combine the food science and the food nutrition will be really good in my future research area. So that's why I continue to do my master degree in food science. I under supervision of Dr. Wei Qing Wang, the George Wang in the human nutrition. And then after I graduated from K-State for my master degree, I went to the AIB, the American Institute of Baking, for the training with full scholarship for already 4 months. And after that, I feel like I'm more deeply interested in the baking, the cereal green area. So that's why I came back to the green science in the Dr. Li's lab. And I worked with Dr. Li for 1 year for the research assistant. And with his encouragement, so that's why I continue my Ph.D. with him.
Very good. It sounds like you've got a very well-rounded background as you move forward and think about heading out into a career. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and all the best. All the best in moving forward. You're just moving into some challenging times with your preliminary exams and then moving on towards completion of your PhD. So we wish you all the best.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
We look forward to see the great things that you continue to do. Good luck as you move forward with your program, and we look forward to seeing more from you.
If you have a question or comment you would like to share, check out our website at ksu.edu/research/global food and drop us an email. Our music was adapted from K-State student Tony Rodriguez's composition, Extreme Carton. Special thanks to him for providing that to us. This podcast is produced by the Office of Research Development and Kansas State University.